Hi everyone, it's Margaret here with 60andMe. Today's makeup tutorial is going to be really fascinating. I'm going to apply makeup recommended to me by a robot. Now, if any of you have been following the current trend of artificial intelligence, there's a program called ChatGPT, which I've been using actually. It's a really interesting search engine kind of model where you type in your questions and it gives you useful answers. It's not like, Google or a search engine where they give you links to websites. It's based on their learning about, the topic that you're asking information about. So I decided to just ask ChatGPT, and I'll leave all the details below so you can investigate yourself. What makeup would you recommend for an older woman, with older skin, more mature skin? And it came back with such an amazing list of makeup products. 50% I would say that I had the first recommendation. And the thing about ChatGPT is you can have a conversation with it. You can say, well, I don't have that particular one. What other recommendation would you have? And it just chats with you. It comes back and says, online, this is what I would suggest. So the makeup that I'm going to show you today was recommended by ChatGPT, which is a robot online. And basically, if you're interested in artificial intelligence, don't be worried about it or afraid. It's just simply another way of getting information. These programs are, given information, and they're trained to be able to answer questions based on, information that's available in the world. And it's really fascinating. So all that aside, my robot ChatGPT recommended these products. Okay, so let's get started. First of all, I'm going to put I didn't actually ask it what moisturizer I should use, but I'm going to use my Embryolisse moisturizer as a base today because my skin's pretty dry. And just wanted to make sure that it's a little glowy for the application. So so that's a great moisturizer. I use it for cleansing and also for a base. Not a primer really, it's just moisturizer. Now, I'm going to do one funny thing that I've never done before on camera. And that is, it's a little hack that I heard worked for under eyes, for applying concealer. And I'm going to use a lip balm. Now, I've just picked up one from the drugstore here in Switzerland. Labello is the brand. But any any lip balm stick, and put it under your eyes. I've been doing this for a little bit now, and I've actually found, funnily enough, it logically would work because it's kind of thick and, just got a little bit of texture to it. Put it under your eyes, and it just apparently, kind of stops the creasing as much, and you could even put it on your lips as well, but I keep this one for my eyes. So that's the foundation, that's the start. Now for foundation, I asked ChatGPT what foundation is best for older skin, and guess what they came up with? The first one they recommended was the L'Oreal Age Perfect. This is actually the nude version. And honestly, it was absolutely right. It's a great foundation, so I'm going to apply that. I'll give you a couple of the other options that they recommended. I'm going to put it on my hand and then use a makeup brush to apply. If I can find it. Okay, so how is everybody, by the way? I just always dive into these makeup tutorials with here we are, lots of makeup, but I think, oh my goodness, hope you're doing okay. It's a crazy time, isn't it? So I'm just going to put this all over my face, but look how beautiful that coverage is, just on one side of my face. Really, really nice. So that was its first choice. Recommendation was the L'Oreal Perfect, I think they call it Perfect Radiant Serum Foundation. And in different countries, it's called different things, but if you know which one I mean, it's in this little, and it's got this crazy dropper. This has actually been reformulated apparently as a pump, so you can actually use it a little more easily. But I've got the old school one. Okay, let me put got a mirror here if I can find my mirror. Make sure that I'm applying this evenly. I know I always forget this part up here to blend, Margaret. I'm going to pop it on my eyes too. And I am going to put it just under my eyes. I've got that little protective coating of the lip balm on my eyes. So we'll see how, it's a very glowy, beautiful foundation. And I can see why they recommended this for an older skin, because as you get drier and a little wrinkly as you get older, it's nice to have a foundation that's just a little bit glowy and light. It's a very light foundation. Okay, so that's my foundation on. Now, in terms of other ones that was recommended was the Mabel Fit Me Dewy Smooth Foundation, and also the Neutrogena Hydro Boost Hydrating Tint. And I don't know that one at all. And also the Revlon Age Defying Firming and Lifting Makeup. Those were the foundations that were recommended. I think CoverGirl had the Olay mix with CoverGirl that also was a good option. So that's another one. In terms of concealer, they did recommend the Instant Age Rewind, which is one that was the first suggestion. And I've got this from a long time ago, and I don't know how, sort of fresh it is, but it's actually got that little sponge top on it. And I will put a little bit of that under my eyes and see what happens here. It is a good choice. I don't use concealers all that much anymore, but I'm going to just try because I've got this new technique for, I was just rubbing it with my fingers. It is a nice concealer. It's very easily blendable, and that's what our robot friend said was the best choice for older, wrinkly skin, wrinkly skin. So, okay, let's see. Yeah, it's okay. My eyes, I'm not sleeping very much these days. I don't know what, I go through phases, but this is probably not doing the best thing for my eyes my eyes are a little wrinkly. But anywho, we'll move on. But that was the first one. The L'Oreal True Match Super Blendable Concealer was mentioned. Also the IT Cosmetics Bye Bye Under Eye. Now, I always found that a little bit heavy, but that was the third one that our friend at GPT recommended. Okay, so what did our robot recommend for bronzer? Well, I wasn't surprised at this one because I do love this product, and the number one product it chose was the e.l.f. Luminous Putty bronzer, and it's a beautiful tone. It's kind of that ashy brown, which it's a little bit hard to see the color here, but if I can put it on my wrist, I can show you. It's hard to see, but it's perfect for my color skin. And if I can find my bronzer brush, I will then blend it in. Margaret, where did you put it? There it is. Let's see, where is it? I'm losing my mind. I found it. Ta-da! Okay, let's do this. Let's put some bronzer on. Well, it's not meant to be like a contour. It's really just meant to be a bronzer. So pop that on where the sun would normally shine on a sunny day. If you had a sunny day, it's kind of cloudy here today. We had snow recently, so it's a bit dry and darkened and dismal. But it's going to brighten up today. So you see the idea, and it is a nice bronzer, and it's cream. It's a cream-based bronzer. You can put some up here too. As I said, with bronzer, you don't want to be sort of carving a line, although I do put a little bit underneath my chin as well to sort of just get that jowl line a little bit defined, chisel the chin a little bit. So let's just put that underneath there, just underneath, right from the ear and then underneath and up again. I, by the way, as you probably can tell, I'm not a makeup artist. I don't do this professionally, but I've had a little bit of practice because I love makeup and I really do enjoy it. So that's the bronzer. What else did they recommend? The Revlon Skin Lights Prismatic Bronzer, NYX Professional Makeup California Beam-In Face and Body Bronzer. By the way, some of the things it recommended, I've never heard of these products, but the Milani bronzer as well is recommended. So those are some other suggestions, but bronzer was, for me, the first one that they chose recommended was perfect for me, and it's one that I had. Okay, for powder blush, I don't have, oh yes, I do have a powder blush. The first one they came up with, by the way, was the Flower Beauty powder blush, and then the NYX Sweet Cheeks. Well, I've had that one and I do like it, but one that they recommended, which I really like, was the Wet n Wild. This one called, is it called Prismatic, or they changed the name of it. It's Hello Halo, and it's a powder blush and a highlighter, and that was recommended, and they called it something else in the past, which indicated it was just a blusher, but I'm going to pop this on as a powder blush. I'm also going to use a cream blush on top, which is a little bit non-traditional, but this is what was recommended. So I'm just following instructions here. And it's just a very, very pretty, again, glowy blush, powder blush. I think that's really pretty, actually. And the e.l.f. or the Wet n Wild products, of course, are very, very affordable. In fact, when I was doing this whole research with my friend ChatGPT, I actually got a lot of responses were Maybelline and e.l.f. and Wet n Wild. Those kept coming up because I kept asking for drugstore alternatives throughout. So that's a really cool option, and I think that's a nice start to powder bronze. Now, cream blush. I wasn't surprised again. e.l.f. came up first, and this is the Putty. This is the Luminous Putty blush, and I love this color. I think I never can tell the name is rubbed off, so I'll show you it's been used well. So excuse the appearance. It's kind of a corally brown color, although it goes on a bit pink, but it's really a nice blush. And I'm going to pop that on over the powder, and I'm going to use this brush is fine. Okay, I wear this all the time. I love this blush, and this was exactly what was recommended. And you can see the theme that's going on here. It's glow. And I think that's a great set of advice. So well done to my robot friend for recommending glow products. They are so, so pretty on older skin. I think that's really nice. So the e.l.f. Putty Bronzer, and these are all affordable drugstore products, by the way. So that's okay, that's that. Now, the next thing was I'm looking at my notes here because I want to make sure I give you all the alternatives. Okay, in terms of eyes, eyeshadow powder, they recommended the Maybelline, there's some called the City line, which are the small petite eyeshadows. And they also recommended the Wet n Wild Icon eyeshadow. That was the second one. And if you're not familiar with these Wet n Wild little palettes, they're like 5, or is it 1, 2, 3? Yeah, 5 colors in a palette. They come in different shades. But this was the second the second in the list recommended. I didn't have the Milani products to show you, but this is what I'm going to use today, and this is the Wet n Wild again. Now, I will also say, let me just get started here. I know I'm talking a lot here, so let's just start with the eyes, and I'm going to use I think here, this is kind of a color here for just as a base color. Let's try that. And so in this category, there were some really good ones that I knew about and that I've used myself before. Now, this is a really pretty, just a simple base color. The Wet n Wild, I mean, honestly, the Wet n Wild eyeshadows are so affordable, like you're under $5, but for me, they're blendable. They're extremely, really, pretty color palettes. And, as I said, for under $5, I'm going to take that darker color with the sort of a flat brush and put a little bit at the corner, just to give my eye a little bit of definition. I love doing this, actually. I've started I moved from powder to cream blush a while ago, but now I'm kind of enjoying this. As long as you have a good base for your eyes, like I use that concealer or the foundation, excuse me, you actually feel like it's not going to run all over your eye so much. So you can just bring that a little bit out to the edge and over a teeny bit into the crease, but not, if you've got hooded eyes, you don't want to be following the natural crease. You want to go up a bit. But anyway, that's kind of the plan for this look. And yeah, so I'm not going to put any underneath, but I am going to use this very pretty color in the middle. If you can see it very well. This is what is this one called? I'll put the details in the section under the video, but I'm just going to use this very, very pinky kind of shimmer on my lid. And that's a $5 eyeshadow. It's just so, so pretty. Can you see the difference? Yeah, it's lovely. I really like this color too. I'm going to just put a bit more on with my finger. Okay, so that is one eye, and I'll just finish on the other side. Now, they made some other recommendations. I mentioned the Maybelline and I mentioned the Milani. Let's see what else was on the list. Okay, that's my Wet n Wild eyeshadow look. I love it. I really, truly do. Wipe my fingers a little bit here. Okay. By the way, I wanted to mention the other ones inside, as well as the Milani and the other Maybelline. I wanted to mention a couple of other small palettes that did come up in the suggestions. e.l.f. These e.l.f. Little palettes, 4-pan palettes, are amazing. Again, under $5. This is one of my favorite ones. Another shade of pinks and creams and brown. I love those. Those are e.l.f. And also Catrice. Catrice does a really lovely, they call it the mini eyeshadow palette. A little bit darker color browns, but this is a beautiful peach And again, all under $5. And these were in the list that were recommended. So Elf, Catrice, and Wet n Wild were the 3 drugstore brands that were recommended by our robot friend. Let's see. Oh, the Maybelline Nudes eyeshadow palette was also recommended. I like that one. I have that as well. Okay, eyeshadow cream. Now, the one that it came up with first was the Maybelline Color Tattoo, and I don't have that anymore, and I don't have it for a reason. I found it dries out really, really fast. And so I just don't use it anymore. But I do use, now this is not a drugstore brand, but RMS does a cream eyeshadow. And that was mentioned in the original one. I asked it for just any makeup, luxury and drugstore. This RMS cream eyeshadow was mentioned. And I don't know, maybe I'll just put a little teeny bit. It's very pretty. I've used it so much. But I'll put a little bit on top of that eyeshadow just to see, continue the creamy look. Oh yes, that's actually quite nice. Can you see that? And they're actually very creamy eyeshadow products, but they stay on and they don't smudge. These are the RMS. And if I can do this without being too clumsy, how's that? Okay, I like that. So that's the cream eyeshadow. They mentioned the Maybelline Color Tattoo I mentioned, which I didn't like so much. The RMS they mentioned. Revlon Color Stay Cream Eyeshadow. The L'Oreal Paris Infallible 24-Hour Eyeshadow, another cream that was recommended. And then, of course, there was the Sticks. Bobbi Brown was mentioned, but these got into the luxury lines, which I didn't really want to mention. So that was the eyeshadow looks that were recommended. And also, it's one thing that was kind of cool is when I was typing the message into the program asking for this information, it would always come back with interesting details, like, for example, with cream eyeshadows. Remember to use a primer or concealer as a base to ensure that the cream eyeshadow stays in place and doesn't crease. You can also use a small brush or your fingertips to blend in. And so it was just, really not just recommending the products, but giving some advice as well. And this is the beauty of this kind of search engine, is you're not being linked just to websites where you have to drill down and read. It's just telling you what you asked for, a very specific information. So let's continue to the eyebrows. Do I have eyebrows? I don't think I put any eyebrows things with me. Okay, well, I think I'll just leave that for a minute and then I'll go get my eyebrows and we'll start with that. But they recommended the Maybelline Precise Fiber Volumizer and then also the e.l.f. Cosmetics Instant Brow Pencil. So there were the Maybelline products. I really love their eyebrow products. I'm going to use a NYX one, which they did mention. They did mention the Micro Brow Pencil by NYX, but not the Snatch It or Thick It, Stick It, which is what I use. So I'll put that on in a second. But I did want to go with the mascara suggestion because guess what they recommended? I mean, I'm not kidding. This was the first on the list. It was the e.l.f. Lash Princess, the green one. It comes in all different colors, but this is the one that they recommended. It's amazing. And I'm going to put that on. I haven't curled my eyelashes, but I'll just pop it on. And you've seen this one before, so I'll just be quick because I use it all the time. It's a $5 mascara. It's amazing. And I can just do it straight. There we go. Can you see? I really love it. I think it's one of the best. And I mean, I have a lot of mascaras because I really love eyes and eye makeup. But this particular brand, Essence does incredible numbers of makeup of all kinds. But I think this is the winning formula and the winning mascara wand. So that's it. One coat. Well, one and a bit. It's really cool. All right, so that's my mascara. And I'll talk about lipsticks now because there was a list, like not a mile long, but a lot of them, 10 different lipsticks they recommended. And some of my very favorites were in the list. The first was the Revlon Super Lustrous lipstick. And they gave, as a pinky peach color, and they gave specifically Rimmel Lustrous Lipstick in Pink Pout, Maybelline Color Sensational Lipstick in Peach Buff, and then the L'Oreal Paris Color Riche Lipstick in Peach Fuzz. I'll put them all on the list below, but they're all the common ones you would recommended by me in past videos. Essence, Catrice, their lipsticks were beautiful. And I've got the one that I like the best, and this is just a lip gloss. I wear this all the time. I have it in my coat pocket, I have it in my handbag, and it was on their list of lipsticks and lip glosses, and it's this beautiful Wet n Wild. It's called, I think it's called Creative or I always forget the name of this one, but I'll put it down. I think it's Cherish. It's Cherish. It's what do they call it? I'm just getting sure I've got the complete name for it. Wet n Wild Mega Slicks Lip Gloss. And I'm just going to put this on because I just love it. And I don't have any lipstick on, I have this gloss, which has got pigment, but it's so pretty and it's really affordable and it's just nice. Okay. Now that may be a little bit light in the camera, but when I look at it, it's really, really pretty. So I'm going to go grab my brow pencil and maybe a little bit darker lipstick. I'll be right back. Hi there. Okay, I've come back and done my eyebrows with my NYX Thick It Stick It. This is my only product I use in my eyebrows now. It's a beautiful mascara wand style, and it's just really pretty color for me. It's on taupe, the color taupe. That was actually in the list of things that were recommended. I'm looking at the lipstick, and I'm going to make it a little bit darker with my Flormar, which is another drugstore brand. It's perfectly pink, and I'll put that on over top. But the Wet n Wild lipsticks were recommended along with all kinds of other products from L'Oreal and Maybelline. They stuck with those brands. I think that I can understand why, because they are their best sellers, and that's probably where they were pulling some of their information to make the recommendation. But Flormar was not in the list. This is my own recommendation. I love their brand. It's a German brand, but you can get it online. It's very, very cool. Perfectly pink. So that is it. That is what my GPT robot recommended for makeup for older women. Hope that you found it useful. I'm going to, I think I'm going to just put a little bit of highlighter from that Wet n Wild blush palette, because it's really pretty. And I'm just going to pop a bit on the top of my cheeks. I actually like this look. I think it's very natural. I think it's extremely affordable, and put a little on the eyes as well. Okay, that's it. I hope that you enjoyed it. I hope that you found it stimulating. I'm just really amazed by the technology now for making recommendations on all kinds of topics. And I thought it'd be fun to do makeup. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you've got any questions, and if you found that some of your favorites appeared in this list of recommendations by ChatGPT robot, I would love the feedback below. But have a wonderful day, everybody. Put out whatever makeup you love. Go out into the world and shine. Enjoy your day. And we'll talk again really soon. Lots and lots of love.